In this video, we're going to look at section 7.3 on linear equations. So I'm just going to start with some problems that appear to commonly be missed. So let's talk about solving linear equations. So there is a lot going on in this one. First you want to do is combine like terms on each side. And to do that, you first need to drop the parentheses. So what you need to do is use your distributive property to multiply 4 by t and then 4 by minus 3, which gives you negative 12. Okay, and I'm sorry, my t's look close to the plus signs. And same way on this side, we're going to do our 4 times our 2t, which are 8t plus 12 minus 9. I'll put little curls on the bottom of my t's. Okay, and then we're going to add together our 4 t's, and we're going to get 8t minus 12 equals 8t, and then this would be plus 3. So we're taking our 12 minus 9. And you'll see I have my calculator over here. What you can do is, have your calculator next to you, so if you're not quite sure, what is 12 minus 9, and you can't do something in your head, go ahead and get your calculator out and go ahead and do that. Now, you're going to see that these 8t's matches, so if you subtract 8t, now remember what we're doing is we're keeping this in balance and we're trying to get our t on one side and then the numbers on the other. The minute you do this, you'll see that those t's drop out. And what you're looking for then in this case is, do we end up with a true statement? And negative 12 equals 3, that is not true. So if you end up with something that doesn't make sense, the answer is there is no solution. Okay. If we ended up with a true statement, then like say we end up with 3 equals 3, then the solution is all real numbers. So that means that no matter what we put in, we would get, it would work. Okay, so if your t's or your variable drops out and you have a not true statement, it goes with there is no solution. If you end up with a true statement and no variables in there, like 3 equals 3 or negative 12 equals 12, the solution is all real numbers. Otherwise, you'll just get an answer which would go here. So let's look at this one here. So this looks similar. So what we're going to do is, and this is example of the other one. So let's go ahead and try this one. So 14 times x minus 1 equals negative 7 times 2 minus x plus 7x. So again, our distributive property, so 14 times x, and then 14 times minus 1 is minus 14. So then we have negative 14 plus 7x, and then plus 7x. Okay, so again, that distributive property, you have to multiply negative 7 by both. And what we're doing is we're dropping the parentheses so we can combine like terms. So this one, we do have our like terms. We have our x's all together and our number. And on this side, we need to add those 7x's together, 14x. And you can see that they match, but let's go one step further and try to get our x's on one side. So remember to get x's on just this side, I would subtract 14x, but you'll see what happens. They drop out. And this time we end up with something true. So because negative 14 equals negative 14, the answer is the solution is the set of all real numbers. Okay? So let's look at number 5. All right. Now for these, if you either have a not true, a true, or an answer. So let's look at number 3. So it's actually number 5 on the thing, but I'm labeling it number 3. So all right. So again, we want to combine like terms on the left side and then combine like terms on the right side. So I have 8p and then 9 minus 2 is 7. And on the right, I have 9p minus 7p, which gives me 2p plus 31. Okay. Then I'm going to get my p's on the left side. And it doesn't matter which side you pick. I just tend to like to put them on the left. So I have 6p plus 7 equals 31. Okay. And then I want to get my numbers on the right side. So I want to move the 7, so I'm going to subtract 7 because it'll cancel it out. Whatever I do to one side, I do the other. So I have 6p equals 24. Okay? So then now I want to get p by itself. Remember, that's our goal. We want to get that variable by itself. So I want to get rid of the 6, so I divide by 6. Whatever I do to the left side, I do to the right side. So I get p equals 4. And you can see the answer right here. All right. So for this one, what are our choices? So again, we're looking for either all real numbers, 1, no solution, or 0. So let's look at this one again. So we have 5 times 2x minus 10 equals 10 times x minus 5. All right, so again, our distributive property, so we get 10x minus 50. So again, 5 times 2x, 5 times negative 10. And then I get 10x minus 50 on this side. Okay, and then I want to get x's all together here. So I have a 10x on the right side, so I'm going to subtract 10x from both sides. And again, you'll see my variable drops out, and I end up with a true statement. Because it's true, you choose all real numbers. So true means all real numbers. Not true means no solution. Okay, so here we have our word problems. All right, so if 8 is added to twice the number and the sum is multiplied by 5, the result is the same. Okay, so it says the result is the same, so it's telling me equals. So I have it equals here. So on the left side it says 8 is added to twice the number, and I'm going to call that number x. And the sum is multiplied. So I'm adding together, and I'll multiply the whole thing by 5. The result is the same as if the number is multiplied by 6. So that's the same number multiplied by 6. And 12 is added to the product. Okay, so 6x is your product, and we're adding 12 to it. So again, we have our distributive property. So 5 times 8 gives me 40. 5 times 2x gives me 10x. All right, again, we're going to get our x's on the left side, so I'm going to subtract 6x from both sides. And I always bring my everything else I'm not working with or didn't do anything to down to keep it balanced. And then I'm going to subtract 40 because I want to get all my numbers on the right. And this would be negative 28. And again, if you have your calculator there, you just do 12 minus 40. And then we want to get x by itself, so I divide by 4. And then you'll see here that the answer is negative 7. So my advice when doing word problems is to start writing as you read, because sometimes once you've read the entire problem, then you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. But if you see 8 is added, oh, you know right away that's 8 plus something. And it's twice a number. Well, we don't know what the number is. We just call it a variable. So we make it x, so twice a number. So 8 plus 2x. And the sum, okay, that's a sum, is multiplied by 5. So we're multiplying the whole thing by 5, so you have to put parentheses around it. Then the result means, okay, I got an answer for that, and that's going to equal that same number multiplied by 6. And then it says we're going to add 12 to that product, and 6x is the product. Okay? So hopefully this has helped. Let me look and see. Okay, so these are more linear equations. Again, what you're just doing is balancing. Okay, so this one here, in a concrete mixture, there are 3 pounds of cement mix for each pound of gravel. If the mixture contains a total of 96 of these 2 ingredients, how many pounds of gravel are there? So again, 96 is our total, so that'll go on the other side. And we'll make x our pound of gravel. And then if we take that and then we take 3 of that for our cement. So this is going to be our gravel. And this is our cement. Okay. And then we have 4x equals 96. So x equals And then I might try using my calculator. So if we did 96 divided by 4, and hit enter, and we get our 24. Okay, so x equals 24, and we look back to here and we let our x represent the gravel. So we match that answer, and okay, these are just lots of no solution and real solutions. So we went through all that. For decimals, again, I would get my calculator out as I go and do that. They do show a trick where you can multiply by 10, but sometimes that's kind of confusing. Okay. Consecutive odd integers. We have 3 consecutive odd integers. What are these integers? Well, we can just make x a number. To make them odd, I'm going to use x plus 1, and then x plus 3, and then x plus 5. And then what we'll do is whatever number we get to for x, we're going to add 1 to it, 3 to it, and 5 to it. So this is going to be your first odd. This is your second odd. This is your third odd. So I have 3x plus 9 equals 183. Okay, then I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides. So I have 3x equals 174. And then if I take 174, and again, don't hesitate to use your calculator. Sometimes you have one on your computer. I know some of you have calculators on your phone. You can download apps that look similar to this calculator. Okay, so we're getting x equals 58, but that's not our answer. We want the odd numbers. So we're going to go back and take 58 plus 1, 58 plus 3, and 58 plus 5. So 58 plus 1 is your 59, and then if we did 58 plus 3, we get 61, and then 58 plus 5 gives us 63. You can also just kind of guess and pick a number, say 57, and then try adding 57, 59, and 61, and see if they equal 183. And if it's short, then go up it by 2 and then try again. So that's another way to approach it. So here is your lesson on solving linear equations.